All right, welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix both those things together, guys. Oh, they're not taking it well. We are slowly descending into the level of emotional distress that can only be gleaned from a gun controller losing their grasp on complete control. This one, you're going to want to send out, and you're going to love every second, I guarantee you, because the screeching is real and the hyperbolic reaches are just getting started. Now, everything that I'm going to show you is going to be linked right down there in the description box below. Of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on because that is the lifeblood of this channel. The more that you guys subscribe, like, and share, the more we push freedom together because the YouTube censorship algorithm is being defeated when you do that. All right, people, listen, I hope you guys had a very restful, very relaxing, very amazing Memorial Day, but more importantly, I hope you remember why we actually have the holiday of Memorial Day. For all those people that gave the ultimate sacrifice, those service members, those armed forces, the people who shed their blood, sweat, and tears for something greater than themselves. So we have the privilege to come on here and beat tyranny right in the face. Thank you to each and every one of those families and of those members. All right, listen, guys. Oh, here we go. Let's get it. Because you're going to see a lot of stuff this week. This week is going to be a very big week, and I'm going to walk you through in 1 second. The way to keep us in step with this, to keep up with this, to make sure you're ahead of the curve of anything else going on, follow me at Braden LOA, because this is where we share information, we spread information, we talk about things that are going on. You guys can ask me questions directly, we can respond, we can share little anecdotes of mockery of the gun controllers losing their control. Yeah, it's a great thing. On X, at Braden LOA. All right, so what do we need to expect this week? And this is the big PSA before we get into the lamentations of the left. The big PSA here, you're going to see for the next 4 to 5 days, non-stop politicking on TV. That is exactly what you're going to see. The suppressor removal is in the Hearing Protection Act. It is in the reconciliation bill. You're going to hear the leftist media start saying that the bill is going to never work out. You're going to hear Republican senators starting to say that they don't like something. You're going to hear leftists proclaiming from on high that Trump has been defeated. Anything and everything. Just keep your nose to the grindstone. Follow me on X. Follow these videos. Like, share them. We're going to keep you as informed as we can without all the political bull from the gun controlling lobby. All right, let's get into this. Firearms Policy Coalition starting it off right. Tyrants when they realized that FRTs were legalized and suppressors could be taken off the NFA all in the same month, and they're a big unhappy potato. No real substance on that one. I just thought it was funny. But you realize, guys, in the past month, like in the same month, we could get FRTs, they were legalized, and suppressors taken off the NFA at the exact same time. I mean, come on. Anyway, let's get into the first, guys. We've got cameras. We've got sitting in the driver's seat of their cars, talking to the camera, pouring your heart out. Yeah, here's the first one. I guarantee you we're going to see so many more of these. Let's get it. Oh, come on. Let's refresh that. Sorry, guys.
Allow people to have silencers.
Oh, no, we're going back to the beginning.
Trump is trying to allow people to have silencers.
The music.
Silencers. There's silencers involved. More people are obviously going to be unalived. When
Really?
people survive a mass pew-pewing, the only reason they survive is because they hear the shots going on.
I would just like to pause for a quick second. You think there's any other reason? I mean, any other reason? You know, maybe like the bad guys got shot by a good guy, or the cops came and they took care of the bad guy. Do you think it's just because they can hear stuff? That's what you think Oh, poor Lefty. Let's continue.
And they are able to run away in time or hide or play unalived. All of these things that have happened have been horrible. And things like this are not going to stop happening. Because instead of tightening restrictions on GUNs, who can get them, what parts they can put on them, Trump is instead opening the door, the floodgates, for people to get more access to GUNs and people to have silencers and things like that. Trump is trying...
Okay, I personally don't understand the musical score behind the lamentations, but it was pensive. I felt it emotionally. Suppressors? That's going to cause more people to be unalived by GUNs and all the things. This is what we're talking about? Yeah, you guys must be in deeper trouble than you thought. Let's keep on going, because it's not just one random poster talking to their camera in a very pensive manner. Look! The House Judiciary Democratic Party is getting involved. Trump's gangster state gathers its weapons. Republicans just voted to deregulate gun suppressors. Sure to thrill mobsters, but public safety be damned. Wow, 14,000 views on that one. Yeah, you guys really hit that one out of the park. Now, of course, that has no basis in reality, and the fact that they're taxing a constitutional right, and it's pretty much unconstitutional. It's been deemed so in many Supreme Court cases. But other than that, look, they are trying to thrill mobsters. Guys, fear, emotion, fear porn. Good Lord. All right. Now let's go over to Giffords. Again, this is just a taste of the stuff that's coming this week. This week is the pivotal week, all right? States shouldn't sit on their heels, says Giffords. Every single time the Trump administration moves to weaken gun laws, lawmakers in state houses can step up and protect their communities. Now, of course, they're talking about machine guns and suppressors, and they have a little itty-bitty teensy-weensy surprise coming this week. More to come on that, because that's not exactly going to come to pass. But anyway, more on that. Like I said, we've got conversations. Can't wait to share them with you. But let me show you what they're telling states to do, because now the gun control tips their hand. They say, well, we can't do federal, so we're going to dive into states. Something they've said for a while, but now they're putting out talking points for the states. Again, if you ever wanted to know who runs gun control, it's not the states, it's Everytown for Gun Safety, and it's Giffords. All right, let's keep going. On Friday afternoon, the Trump administration announced that it caved to the gun lobby. On May 16th, hoping most Americans wouldn't notice, it agreed to a settlement that requires the Department of Justice to, quote, not enforce the machine gun ban against any device that functions like a forced reset trigger. Hoping Americans wouldn't notice, every single gun channel on the frickin' internet did a complete expose on it. What are you talking about? No one would notice. Millions of people knew within an hour. These people are dumb. Anyway, force reset triggers are designed to drastically increase a firearm's rate of fire by mechanically resetting the trigger after every shot instead of relying on the shooter's release. The result is a firing rate nearly identical to a machine gun. Again, they just reiterated why they lost, because it's not a machine gun. But anyway, don't let facts get in the way. And this part is real important. An era of gun violence in the 1920s spurred Congress to enact the National Firearms Act of 1934, which at the time established a $200 tax on machine guns and silencers. In 1986, Congress banned machine guns with a few exceptions, but today the gun industry has effectively innovated its way around the ban. You know what they didn't tell you there? I mean, it's weird. I know. I'm sure they forgot. They put that NFA in response they put NFA in place in response to the gun violence from gangsters who were running alcohol after the government banned it. So the government comes in and says you can't produce alcohol, creating a black market, and then alcohol is continued to be run by criminals. Oh, wait, criminals. And then when criminals start shooting each other for the money control of that black market, then the everyday population can't get their rights. But it's not infringing on the Second Amendment because we're taxing you. We're not telling you can't have it. Y'all, good Lord, it's just like today. Criminal's gonna criminal and then we get punished. That's their mindset. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Unfortunately, the 39 states that have not acted on rapid-fire devices broadly or have taken narrow approaches that depend on what constitutes a single trigger pull are vulnerable, scary, emotional fear porn. Gun manufacturers may even start pre-installing FRTs at the point of sale. Who in their right mind is going to pre-install an FRT in an AR-15 for sale? No, it's an aftermarket part. You don't install that off over the trigger like, hey, you never had a gun before? Here, have this. That's not how this works. Again, this is all about freaking people out. These devices have no explicit age restrictions. You mean like 21 in some states and 18 in others? Not like no age restrictions? Like it's not based in reality at all. And are not subject to any specific design standards or permitting requirements beyond what's required for the gun itself. In other words, in the rest of the country, there is little to prevent the proliferation of what are effectively machine guns. Again, they're not machine guns, but effectively machine guns. Many state legislative sessions have already come to a close, but some still have an opportunity to act quickly to protect their residents from the Trump administration's reckless actions, while others can begin to plan for the next session. See that? Poke, poke, states. Poke, poke. Get in line, bitches. That's what they're going to do. They're going to do the next session in these states, and they're going to go after suppressors, and they're going to go after FRTs. They're going to go after any kind of item like that. That's what they're going to do. They're going to lead the charge with their blue states. Now, the only one little problem is there's something coming that they don't quite really know that's coming in the next couple of days, which we're going to be highlighting on this channel, that is going to kind of get in the way of this little poke. But that's where they're at. They're losing their collective minds from people making these emotional posts to the House Judiciary comparing you guys to gangsters, to Giffords telling states that they're going to have to do it, to FPC rubbing their faces in it like old dried spud potatoes, and all the while we will be talking about it at Braden LOA on X. So guys, this is going to be a week. Make sure you're tuned in because this is where you're going to see all the politicking start, and it will continue through July 4th. But we will be right here with you along the way, guiding you through all the BS to get us to that freedom that we so deeply cherish. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.